When will you speak to President Xi of China?
That'll happen. I mean, look, right now, and I told you before, they're having tremendous difficulty because their factories are not doing business. They made $1 trillion with Biden, $1 trillion, even $1.1 trillion with Biden selling us stuff. Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need.
Mr. President, I'll be here at Walmart. Yes, Mr. President, you put tariffs on China. I think you started out at 80% on goods that comes across the border, and then China puts 84% on the U.S. Then you go back, you do 125,000%. You got to understand, Mr. President. Nancy Pelosi said that we are deployables. We don't got much money, and we have to depend on China to get phones, to get electronics, Mr. President. Mr. President, you're going to hurt us. You're going to hurt everybody that supported you, Mr. Trump. Tried to negotiate with him. We need Walmart. We cannot live without Walmart. Yes, Mr. President, I know you mean well, but you got to help us.
It was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools that want federal taxpayer funding. So as we close the Department of Education and we provide funding to states, we are going to make sure that these funds are not being used to promote communist ideology. For any nation to be successful, it cannot teach its children to hate themselves and to hate their country. So these are a few of the areas in which President Trump has fought the cancerous, communist, woke culture that was destroying this country, where we were led to believe that men were women, that women were men, that racial discrimination was good, that merit was bad, and that safety and physical security mattered less than the feelings of liberal ideologues.
All right, you're not going to believe this. I'm just outside the House Judiciary Committee, and actually, I got a guy here who wants to say hi. Hold on. I'll take a picture with you real quick. I'm doing an Insta Live right now. You're on an Insta Live, but I'll get back to it in a second. Hop in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. Of course, thank you. All right. House Judiciary Committee right now. You're not going to believe this. I'm stunned that I have to tell you this. Republicans just voted, every single one of them, to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens. Not like deport unlawful, violent immigrants. No. They just voted in our committee to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens. That's where this is going. They just voted to allow that. I've never thought I would see this before. I never thought it would come to this, but that's